Hi, everyone. Welcome. I'm Mary Christensen, the Director of Product Marketing here at Billing Platform, and I'd like to thank you all for taking the time out of your day to join us for another edition of our Elevate series webinars, this one on payment compliance. With me today is Ajanta Bhattacharjee, our Product Manager for Payments and Compliance. Ajanta joined our team earlier this year and comes to us with extensive engineering experience in the payment space. And most recently, she's been leading the payments initiative at Billing Platform. Thanks for being with us today, Ajanta.
Yeah. Hi, everyone.
To set the stage, let's first talk about some of the trends we're seeing. I think you'll all agree B2B payments are becoming increasingly digital. And although the market as a whole is becoming more flexible and secure, there are still challenges confronting businesses' ability to efficiently manage B2B payments, not to mention expand internationally. To back this up, Gartner predicts that by 2025, a majority, in fact, that's 8 in 10 or 80% of the B2B purchases will be digital. They go on to say that chief sales officers and other senior sales leadership must accept that buying preferences have permanently changed, and as a result, so too will the role of sellers. Meanwhile, cash and checks continue to lose ground, leading to the trend of digital transactions taking a more prominent role. Really, once an afterthought, offering digital payment options has become integral in attracting and retaining customers. In fact, more than 4 in 5 consumers expect digital options when they shop in person, according to a survey released by Visa earlier this year. And finally, digital payments generate a wealth of data, and that can help to deepen customer engagement and drive efficiency. With advancements in things like AI and data analytics, we're seeing businesses turn that data into rich insights that serve as a competitive differentiator and benefit their customers with targeted and contextual offers. To me, this means that businesses are ready to shift from a strategy focused on digital transformation to one focused on running a digital business. Now let's bring Ajanta into the conversation. Thanks again for being with us today, Ajanta.
Yeah.
With all the changes going on in the shift to digital payments, what regulations are emerging to make sure these payments are kept in check?
So, as a merchant, you may be processing electronic payments already, and you may already be PCI compliant, but that doesn't mean that you're guaranteed successful payments due to all the changing regulations we are seeing in the payment space today. Right now, under the revised Payment Services Directive, also known as PSD2, there is a regulation in the European Union region that's disrupting the payment ecosystem. And its main aim is to increase the security of electronic payments for both consumers and businesses. So this mandate for strong customer authentication, or SCA, or also known as the 3D Secure or 3DS2 mandate in EU, is to have cardholders initiate the electronic payments themselves and go through some secondary verification steps. So mainly 3DS2 is designed to protect the consumers or the cardholders when they shop online using their credit and debit cards. And the purpose of 3DS2 is specifically to prevent a shopper's card from being used without their authorization. So 3DS2 is required on all transactions if the card issuer and the acquirer are both within the European Economic Area. If only one of the two is within that area, then strong customer authentication is not required. This means that if your business is based in the US, or you're working with a US bank, you would not be required to enforce this extra authentication, but you can still enable 3DS2. As it can reduce fraud risk and remove any sort of chargeback liability for you. This is a good thing. So it's recommended that you enable it. Also, there is a similar ACH fraud detection standard for web debits from NACHA in North America that has the same main goal of reducing fraud by having the end customer or the bank account holder to initiate the payment transaction and go through similar verification steps, which could be just micro deposits or having them log into their bank account to verify themselves. And so payment service providers or PSPs and businesses have to keep up with such national laws and regulations, as we'll be seeing more and more of these.
Okay, so interesting. Even though different regions have different regulations, it sounds to me like they're helping each other shape the security of the payments. So, really, what's at stake if a company doesn't abide by these regulations?
If, as a merchant, you do not abide by these regulations, you may be penalized for non-compliance by both PSD2 and NACHA. And we have actually seen real world examples. Uh, we have seen a multinational business that faced this issue and payment decline rates as much as 10% of all their transactions just for not complying with 3DS2. And also, your revenue is obviously impacted if you fail to process and collect payments successfully. If you face too many fraudulent transactions as a result, the fraud rate goes up, and you have fraud rates over a certain threshold. Your merchant account even may be suspended, or you may no longer be able to process ACH transactions for it, as an example. Also, not being able to process payments creates a bad experience for your customers and end customers uh, that may be trying to make a payment and they're not able to do so. So, this can create a churn risk for you. Also, um, under stored credentials mandates by Visa and MasterCard that came out a few years ago, you're required to mark transactions that are merchant initiated versus customer initiated, also recurring versus one time payment transactions. And if you fail to do so, this may also cost you additional fees.
So it sounds like those are some serious implications. But on the other side, what's the opportunity for complying?
So these mandates not only protect the end customers, but these can also protect you as a merchant. And one main benefit is the shift of liability from the merchant to the bank. So if a transaction goes through these additional customer authentication steps, you as a merchant is no longer liable for chargebacks. And also, there's a significant reduction of fraud risk. And this can save you money. It can lead to additional cost saving because it also eliminates customer agents or customer representatives from collecting payment information, as these mandates require the end customer to add their cards directly in the system. So agents are gone from the payment processing loop altogether, leading to additional cost savings for you as a merchant. This also eliminates stolen payments. You're able to identify payment theft before it happens. Also, within the NACHA rules, you have greater payment success rates because of open banking. That leads to faster settlements as well.
Excellent. So, what do you suggest companies do to embrace these changes?
So, to embrace these changes, as a business, you need to offer customers the ability to enter their card details or bank account details themselves by offering them a PCI compliant customer portal or a payment portal or a hosted payment page. You need to digitize the payment uh, processing flow, and also ensure that your payment platform and the payment gateway you're using are both 3DS2 and not just standard compliant. so that you can support SCA and prevent any decline transactions.
Thanks, Ajanta. It's clear how important it is for companies to stay compliant to help protect revenue and even increase profitability. So for those of you who may not be familiar with Billing Platform, I wanted to spend just another minute to provide a quick overview of our solution. We help companies realize revenue for any type of product offering. That can be from simple subscriptions to sophisticated usage-based pricing models and everything in between. And we do that with our industry-leading revenue management platform. We provide full revenue lifecycle support from product setup and quoting to billing, rating, usage, and subscription management to invoicing, along with the ability to manage payments and collections through to revenue recognition and reporting. And to round out the customer experience, we offer self-service, the ability to upsell, management of renewals and churn management, and the ability to help companies nurture and grow their customer relationships. This unparalleled flexibility of the solution puts enterprises in control of how they differentiate in the market, maximize profitability, reduce operational costs, and improve the customer experience. Now we'd like to hear from you. Do you have any concerns or questions about payment compliance and how it might affect your business? If so, please do reach out to either Ajanta or me. And if you're interested in a free consulting session on how best to tackle this, reach out. We'd love to help. With that, thank you for joining us today, and we hope to see you in a future Elevate Series session. Cheers.